indeed great to be here with you guys today. Natasha Cloud getting dragged up and down the internet along with Unrivaled for her latest comments regarding, if there's no lockout, the people in Unrivaled are going to be good. I don't really care about the rest of y'all, but the players in Unrivaled are going to be. We're going to get into that. Rebecca Lobo offering a stark warning to the players, saying, look, maybe some of the dialogue you guys are using, maybe calling $1 million salary a slap in the face, isn't the best.
Natasha Cloud's comment lit a fire fast. She basically said that if the WNBA has no season, the players involved with Unrivaled will be fine. Because Unrivaled is an alternative league, she hinted a lockout wouldn't really hurt them. That one line hit like a warning siren during already tense CBA talks. And it exposed something people didn't want to admit. If a lockout happens, a small group may stay protected while most players would be left in a scary situation. In one moment, the idea of all players together started to look shaky, and the league's future suddenly felt a lot more fragile.
Saying, look, maybe some of the dialogue you guys are using, maybe calling $1 million salary a slap in the face, isn't the best way to get fans on your side, and that's exactly where we're going to start off. Please like the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. Rebecca Lobo, worried WNBA players are losing fan support in CBA talks. Quote, when a deal is presented that's over $1 million max salary and revenue share, it's called a slap in the face. Just use different words. This is an article posted by Awful. Now,
the reaction was immediate, and Rebecca Lobo led the pushback. She warned that calling $1 million max salary and revenue sharing a slap in the face is the wrong move. Her point was simple. That kind of message doesn't just sound harsh, it can push fans away right when the league can't afford it. Lobo's criticism wasn't about denying player issues. It was about how the public hears it. If fans feel blamed or talked down to, they stop listening, and that can hurt the league at the worst possible time.
Careful with how they're articulating things, because if you're working whatever job, a max salary of $1.2 million, average salary of $500,000, if you don't think it's fair, that's fine, but don't call it a slap in the face. Support for the players are definitely waning. Every time they take a dump on $1 million max salaries, $250,000 minimum salaries, $500,000 average salary, every time they trash that, I would say it's a huge slap in the face to the people that are observing these negotiations from a distance. Wait, you guys are saying a 4x increase?
Lobo also said she's already seeing support soften. Not in a small way, but in a real measurable way where engagement starts slipping. The more players repeat the idea that they're being disrespected, the more some fans feel turned off, especially when those complaints are paired with big salary jumps. For many viewers, it stops sounding like a fair fight and starts sounding like constant negativity. And once people emotionally check out, it becomes harder for the WNBA to keep momentum and negotiate stronger deals later.
NBA comes back, they're not even supporting any player not named Caitlin Clark. Any player not named Caitlin Clark. Not team, any player not named Caitlin Clark. Yeah, there are a good amount of people that are saying, hey, it's Indiana fever or nothing as well. I tried to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, but based on how these negotiations have been going, based on how much you have been gaslighting and lying to us, I'm not going to support you guys anymore. I'm going to prove to all of the players in the league, nobody cares about you, and we only care about Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to buy your merch.
This is where the disconnect becomes obvious. Most fans are dealing with rent, bills, and everyday stress. So when they hear someone describe a 6-figure or 7-figure paycheck as insulting, it feels unreal to them. Lobo's point was that it kills sympathy instantly. Even fans who want women's sports to grow can still react like, how is that a slap in the face? When the message lands wrong, it doesn't build allies. It creates frustration. And that's dangerous for a league that still needs every supporter it can keep.
Go against the players to teach them a lesson at this point. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. And with what Rebecca Lobo said, the average fan at home, yes, the average fan at home, yeah, they would say that that's a little bit ridiculous. But I would also say the old guard WNBA fan, they're behind these players nearly 100%. The old guard WNBA fan is why these players feel so emboldened to act how they do, to demand what they are demanding. It's the old WNBA fans. The new fans, the casuals, they see right through this. They see.
Then the backlash grew even louder because some people heard players brushing off a huge pay increase as not enough. A lot of viewers didn't just call it ungrateful, they felt it was manipulative, like they were being told to ignore basic math and basic reality. That's why the word gaslighting started popping up. To everyday people, a major raise is a major raise. When athletes publicly talk like it's nothing, it can feel insulting, and that turns public frustration into full-on anger.
Question, but like, for example, and we all pray it doesn't happen because everybody wants the W to come back. So my question is, if for some reason that there was a lockout and, the season didn't come back.
I feel like I can't say that there is or there isn't because I'm not 100% sure, but I know Unrivaled is prepared in so many different instances. And the biggest one being that we own the space that we play in.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to stay here year round as the players of Unrivaled with equity in this league and with space, financial money, all that stuff, we could stay here, train, play, put on another season if need be. So that's the beautiful thing, and that's why I'm so appreciative to be a part.
Caitlin Clark's impact made this even bigger. Now you've got a chunk of fans saying they only care about Clark and the Indiana Fever, and they'll skip everything else. Some are openly talking about boycotting other teams, refusing to buy merchandise, and refusing to show up unless Clark is involved. That's a brutal signal for the league, because it suggests star power is pulling the audience more than the overall product. And when fans start saying they want to teach players a lesson, it shows the relationship between players and supporters is getting worse, not better.
Premier league that has the best players in the world. Unrivaled doesn't have the best players in the world. They could lie to themselves and think that they do. They don't. Project B doesn't have the best players in the world. They can lie to themselves and think that they do. They don't. Not only do they not have the best players in the world, they don't have the most interesting players in the world. They don't have the biggest draws in the world. They don't have the most popular players in the world. The most popular player, Caitlin Clark, isn't associated with either of those leagues. And both of those leagues' success depend on a Caitlin Clark playing in them. Make no mistake about it. Now, Natasha Cloud is talking all this hot you-know-what.
A big part of the mess is trust. When fans feel like they're being sold a story that doesn't match reality, like we're suffering, while numbers look better than ever, they get defensive. Some fans believe the players are pushing a narrative that makes the league sound broke or unfair, even while viewership grows and pay rises. Whether that's true or not, the perception matters. Once trust breaks, negotiations get uglier, support gets colder, and the league atmosphere becomes hostile instead of hopeful.
When Project B runs from November to April, and Unrivaled's running from January to March, well, guess what? All those players that were the best players in Unrivaled, they're not going to be there anymore because Project B's got bigger pockets than you guys. So you're talking all this mess. Realistically, Project B, they're getting ready to put you guys out of business. Realistically, TNT, you think they're going to be perfectly okay with the trash ratings that Unrivaled has brought in? Unrivaled is prepared for the next year, but if Unrivaled gets dropped by TNT and Warner Brothers, you think they're prepared for that?
Another split is showing up between longtime WNBA supporters and newer casual fans. The longtime base is seen as loyal to the point where they defend players no matter what. But newer viewers, many of them drawn in by Caitlin Clark, don't have that emotional attachment yet. They're more likely to question the messaging and call out exaggeration. That puts the WNBA in a tough spot. The league wants to expand its audience, but the very people helping it grow may also be the quickest to walk away. Cloud's Unrivaled comments also raised a deeper issue. She didn't just sound confident. She sounded like she was telling the WNBA, "We have options." She pointed out that some Unrivaled players have equity and could be financially safe even if the WNBA shuts down. She also mentioned Unrivaled owning the space they play in, framing it like they can keep training and running seasons no matter what happens. That message makes it sound like the WNBA isn't the only path anymore, and that changes the pressure level inside CBA talks. She also pushed the idea that leagues like Unrivaled and Project B are needed to force the WNBA to move faster. In her view, competition breaks the old system and helps players. But critics came back hard with a reality check. The biggest names people tune in for, like Caitlin Clark, Aya Wilson, and Sabrina Ionescu, are still in the WNBA. Without the biggest draws, the alternative leagues can't pull the same attention, money, or TV deals. On top of that, Project B could even threaten Unrivaled by running at the same time and possibly offering more money, meaning these alternatives might end up fighting each other before they ever truly challenge the WNBA. That's what makes this whole situation look messy instead of powerful. Instead of one strong alternative, it's starting to look like multiple leagues competing for the same limited pool of players, money, and attention. And Unrivaled stability is already being questioned. People are pointing to concerns about ratings and the risk that a major media partner could back out, which would crush revenue and momentum. So when someone says, "We'll be fine without the WNBA," the public hears confidence, but critics hear wishful thinking. Cloud's focus on the players who might be protected also shines a harsh light on everyone else. If a lockout happens, most WNBA players aren't set up to coast. Yet her comments didn't offer a plan for the other roughly 100 players who'd be squeezed the hardest. That's why people are calling it selfish. It sounds like a small group is comfortable risking a shutdown while the majority would suffer. Add to that the conflict of interest concern. If players building competing leagues are also involved in negotiating the WNBA's future, fans and critics question whether they're fighting for everyone or for themselves. And the more this drags on, the more it looks like players may be overestimating their leverage. If fans keep leaving, if casual viewers lose patience, and if money partners get nervous, the WNBA could lose momentum during what should be its biggest growth window. Right now, the league feels like it's at a crossroads, with unity cracking, messaging failing, and the future hanging on how smart the next moves are.